I recently found out that my horrible sister had told our mother that she was happy when our great-grandmother died in 1992. Edit. To preface, this isn't about a childhood grudge. I was just mortified she'd said that. My sister has a long history of being a bad egg. No matter what we did, our parents weren't perfect, but she always found fault with them in everything, while also causing havoc. I've got plenty of other posts about her too. Our great-grandmother was by no means a bad person either. She was a bit grouchy at times. But apart from mild scoldings, she never did anything to any of us. It somehow took till I'm nearly 40 to find this out, but it's rough. My great-grandmother died in 1992 at age 73 from complications of cancer. She had to have her entire breasts removed, and suffered constant pain during her final years of life. Even sadder was that 6-year-old me was the first person to find out she was dead. I went into the bedroom to ask her if I could have a hot dog from the fridge, and she didn't move. I reached out to touch her, and she was cold and stiff. Even at that age, I knew what was going on. I just froze there for a moment, and then came running out of the bedroom yelling to my great-grandpa that great-grandma was dead. He got up out of his chair and ran into the bedroom, and just remained silent in there with her for some time. All I can remember is getting on the couch, and just staying there. The rest I seem to have mentally blocked out, because I was just on autopilot for the rest of that day. But apparently much of the family got together to cry at losing great-grandma while she was being taken away to the morgue. And that's when my at the time 8-year-old sister decided to loudly say that she was glad great-grandma was dead, and that she'd always hated her. Everyone froze in shock. My mother was so angry that she told her mother to take my sister for the day, because she was not coming home with us. My grandma tried to refuse, but my furious mother told her she wasn't taking no for an answer. I remember around that period, my sister is spending a lot more time at my grandparents' house. Now I know why. This isn't where the story ends either. I wasn't unaware that my sister did not like our great-grandparents. I just didn't know she'd said something so evil on the day great-grandma died. But more than 20 years later, she claimed to me that our great-grandma hated us, because she was old and still having to babysit despite her age and bad health. Yet I remember her knitting things for us as gifts. There's no way she was so callous. She also told me our great-grandpa was a crappy person because he got remarried to a real witch of a woman. Wasn't really his fault. The man was still grieving his wife. And then some evil old woman proposed to him in front of everyone at a church gathering. He was pressured to say yes. And that woman was a widow several times over that bled her previous spouses dry. We were only rid of her after my great-grandpa passed in 2005 at 88 years old. My sister is frankly evil, and has been known to manufacture things in her own head, and then believe them. She also loves to point out flaws, and the things she hates about other people, despite being a real piece of work herself. And she loves conspiracies against others, and will give people medical advice she refuses to take herself. When our stepdad got a DUI, my sister delighted in it, despite the fact that she got a DUI herself a few years prior, and totaled her car doing it. And with glee she tried to theorize different things about our stepdad, like saying he was probably hitting the bottle hard, to which I said no. He'd barely touched alcohol since coming home. She seemed to twitch, and then said that she bet he was really angry about it. I said no. He was actually very sad. So then she tried to say he was probably blaming everyone else for his screw-up. And I told her he was not, and was openly owning up to it. 3 for 3 wrong. She said, "You know what? Don't talk to me," and slammed her trailer door shut. That's the kind of person she is. Currently she's a broke drunk and drug addict mooching off the grace of others. She's not allowed to return home after the things she said and did to us.